Ciao lettore di Digitale. My name's Peter Comeau. I'm Director of Acoustic Design for Wharfedale, and it's my pleasure to introduce you today to Wharfedale Aston. Aston is part of the heritage range of loudspeakers for Wharfedale, and the heritage range is based around a particular industrial design done by Robert Gutman for Wharfedale back in 1967. And it's a design which has stood the test of time visually, and I think is a remarkable look at the way loudspeakers blend in the home. It really turns loudspeakers into lovely pieces of furniture. And the heritage line for Wharfedale has proved very popular over the past 10 years. So we make no excuses for continuing this line with Aston. Now, Aston for me is a particular pleasure because I had a vision back in late 1970s when I first started designing loudspeakers of a compact loudspeaker with a very wide bandwidth. And Aston is the culmination of that vision. It has purity, clarity, energy, elegance, and an almost timeless sound, which you can revel in whatever type of music you play. So let's give you a look inside the Wharfedale Aston. As you can see, it's a two-way loudspeaker with a woven carbon fibre diaphragm for the bass unit, together with a central phase plug which equalizes the performance throughout the mid-range. And then that crosses over to a treble unit, a 25mm silk dome treble unit, which inherits a lot of its technology from the highly advanced Dovedale unit, the top in the line of the Heritage series. And the crossover itself uses a combination of air core coils, high quality polypropylene capacitors, and a silicon laminated iron core inductor for the bass. And the design of the crossover is particularly aimed at getting the most out of every type of music that you play. In many ways, the crossover is the heart of a loudspeaker. And in this case, it's taken many hundreds of hours of listening to music as well as measurement in our laboratories in Huntingdon in order to generate a circuit which gives the best performance out of both drive units and combines them in a seamless way so that you're absolutely not aware that the sound is coming from these diminutive cabinets at all. On top of that, round the back you'll find two bass ports. These are tuned to below 50 Hz in order to give a remarkable bass extension for a speaker of this size. And the overall effect is of a very big sound stage that you won't believe comes from such small stand mount loudspeakers. Now, stands are included in the design, and I do thoroughly recommend that you get them because they are part of the mechanical performance and therefore acoustic performance of the loudspeakers. They've been specifically designed to give high rigidity, high torsional rigidity especially, in order to make the speakers as rigid as possible and therefore allow you only to hear the sound of the drive units. The cabinet itself is a special design where we use two different layers of wood. The internal wood is high density MDF. This is then bonded using a special damping glue to an outer layer of chipboard, which is then fully veneered in order to give the beautiful furniture finish that was a classic feature of the Wharfedale Heritage speakers. When you listen to Aston, you'll find it has all the hallmarks of a classic British monitor loudspeaker. I was asked at the origination of the design to produce something along the lines of the BBC LS35A in terms of the magical mid-range that that particular design has with regard to vocal rendition, for example. But we all know that, good though the LS35A is, it has limitations at the frequency extremes, partly due to its cabinet design, partly due to the drive units that were around at that time. And with today's technology, I feel that we can go one better. And so in Aston, I've done my best to make sure that that mid-range performance, that natural vocal performance, the feeling that there are real instruments and real singers in the room, is accommodated together with a bass response and a treble response that is very detailed and very accurately portrayed, with very, very good extension at both ends. And that means that you have this classic British monitor loudspeaker sound, but it is capable of taking full account of the dynamics and performance of today's digital recordings, so that it allows you to generate this huge soundscape within your room from what is essentially two small classic British two-way loudspeakers. Now, you don't need a huge amount of amplification to do this. The sensitivity of these speakers is 86 decibels for 1 watt. So a good 30 watt valve amplifier, tube amplifier, will power them exceedingly well. For solid state amplifiers, I would recommend that you look at something in the region of 60 watts or more. As you go up in room size, you may feel that you need more power, in which case I've powered these off 100, 150 watt amplifier with no problem, because their distortion is very low even at high listening levels. So there you have it, Wharfedale Aston, something of a classic, something of a specialist design from me particularly. We've called this a signature loudspeaker, and I think it's very special in every single respect, and I hope you really enjoy listening to them.